Hey y'all. So as you've seen in the last video, all of our pumpkins are planted now. Came up all together with pumpkins and squash. We've got about 11.5 acres, and then we've got a little over 2 acres of strawberry plastic that we are going to go through and plug in pumpkins in as well. So you got to be real timely with your pre-emergent spray after you get your pumpkins planted. Like, preferably you would unhook the planter and hook to the sprayer and spray it in the same day. That's the ideal situation. It doesn't always work out that way. Now I could take a few little videos of different angles of me going across the field with the tractor and sprayer, but that is not going to be helpful to you if you're watching my channel trying to learn something. That's not going to help you in the slightest. So I thought I would today give you a little insight on what I use for pre-emergence for our pumpkins and squash. Now I know what I'm about to tell you is a very, very expensive program as far as sprays go, but I'm going to give you the Cadillac version. This is actually what I did, and if you want to go with the Chevy or Ford version or the Kia version, that's up to you. I'm just going to tell you what I did this year and what I used, and let you make your own decision from that. So, Reflex. For North Carolina, there is a 24C label for Reflex. It's not technically labeled for winter squash and pumpkins, but the 24C supplemental emergency use label does list pumpkins and squash. Dual Magnum is labeled right there in the label. It probably says right here, yeah, pumpkins right there, right on the front. Dual Magnum, that is a good one. You will not go wrong. I highly recommend Dual Magnum. If you spray Dual Magnum and you get some rain to rain it in, you will not have any grass. Command is another good one. Be careful with the Command as far as plant backs. It can give you some real problems with plant back. Gramoxone, don't like it. I got a love-hate relationship with it. Kind of scared of it, but it does a phenomenal job of burning down everything that is there, because everything that I've said thus far, other than the Reflex, has no killing power. So what I do is I will spray the field with Roundup and kill. Well, this year I used Roundup and AIM. AIM is a contact herbicide. It's mainly a tank mix partner for Roundup. It does a good job at killing hard to kill weeds, but I do that like 2 to 3 weeks ahead of time to get my cover crop dead, and then I will plant, and then I come through and spray my Gramoxone and all my pre-emergents. Reflex has some killing power, but it really shines as a pre-emerge, and the Gramoxone is gonna smoke everything. Do a really good job of it. Sandia has a little bit of killing power, but it's mainly a pre-emerge. It's supposed to be the best for nutsedge and morning glories. It won't do nothing for morning glories if they're up. It'll kind of stun them. That's about it. A really good surfactant is a must. If you go out there and skimp on your surfactant, you are doing yourself a disservice. Now, I'm not going to give any off-label advice whatsoever, but wouldn't it be cool if Syngenta would see fit to put Reflex and Dual Magnum into one package? Huh. What do you know? Prefix just happens to be Dual Magnum and Reflex already mixed. not labeled for vegetables. It's only labeled for soybeans and some other things. But just saying. Another option, a really good option, been told you can't buy it anymore. Another alternative, I should say, to Command is Strategy. This stuff is fantastic. It was a leveling product. It was made by CPS back in the day. So Nutrien now. I've been told that you can't buy Strategy anymore. I don't know if that's true or not. Strategy is incredibly expensive. I don't remember what a 2.5 gallon jug was last time I bought it. Got about almost 2 gallons here of it. But it is for all cucurbits. It does a very good job. If I was gonna spray one thing, it would probably be Strategy. And I understand I just said that you can't, I don't think you can buy it anymore, but you can buy the Command and Strategy, kind of like the Prefix, is a tank mix of Command and Curbit. I'm pretty sure you can still buy Curbit. Obviously you can buy Command. Right here's a new thing of it. In the past I have used a few different spray programs for pre-emergents. I've never used Sandia as a pre. I've always used it as a post. You can spray it over top, but it's not very effective that way. But a really good option, a really good affordable option, is the Dual Magnum and Reflex. That's fairly cost effective, and if you've never sprayed either one of those, it's pretty effective at holding the weeds back. Once you've used them a little bit on different crops, it loses its efficacy a little bit. The Strategy is a great option. The reason that I went so full send this year with the Reflex Dual, Command, and Sandia is because I wanted to really have some good control. I've got some major problem weeds, and last year the weeds got away from me in pumpkins, and I spent far more than these herbicides cost paying employees to go through and hoe and pull weeds. So that's the reason I'm really pouring it to it this year. But yeah, I think that's all I've got for you. If y'all got any questions, drop them in the comments. Like I say, I'm not gonna elaborate a whole lot on rates. Everything you need to know is in the label. And take my advice for what it costs you here on YouTube. Nothing. But I appreciate you guys watching, and I will see you next time.